a circuit chest. Because that's on my hands and my head. So I didn't know he was going to get circle all over him. But anyway, I'm going to circle on this. Well, we're pretty much done. And one of the things we like to do every TNL is just to share a quick 2-minute testimony, a little story about how we have encountered Christ and just the relationship with Jesus, what that looks like. And the question that was asked me tonight was one reason that Jesus is important to me. And I just want to state that at this time of year, we're obviously thinking about, oh, Jesus' birth, it's Christmas time, which is obviously something good to think about. But in Mark, it says, "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call him Emmanuel." Which Emmanuel, it says right after that, is God with us. And that is a prophecy from Isaiah that's fulfilled in Christ. And that's the thing that I'm thankful to God for. That just a reason that I'm thankful to Him is that He's Creator God. He's made all these things, but He comes as Emmanuel. That's the name He gives us. That salvation. Jesus means salvation for the sins of the people. And Emmanuel, that He's a God that's not far off and intangible and this lofty God that doesn't interact with His creation and doesn't love us. He loved us so much that He came to walk among us, to take on flesh, to be Emmanuel, God with us, in a very real, very personal way. For the people 2,000 years ago, they interacted with Him in a physical way. He was there, touching people, healing people with His power, loving them as they were. And that's just because He's not here in physical form now, it doesn't mean that doesn't exist for us today, that He is still Emmanuel. He still came. He comes to us, for those that are willing, that believe in Him and want to know Him. He wants that relationship with us, that even though He's this lofty, amazing Creator God, that He's God with us. And that changes you. If you have an encounter with this personal God, I heard a guy say a couple of days ago, or a couple weeks ago, I was watching something, and he said, if I came here tonight and I was like, oh guys, I'm sorry I'm late. I was walking across the street over here, and a Mack truck was coming by, a transfer truck was coming by, and it hit me. So I was a little late getting here, sorry about that. You'd be like, seriously, if you got hit by a Mack truck, and it was going 55 miles an hour or something, if I had said that, then you'd be like, okay, you'd be in the hospital or dead or something. You don't just show up a little late to TNL because you got hit by a truck. In a similar fashion, if you encounter Christ as He desires to have a relationship with each of you, it'll transform your life. And many of you here can attest to that. A relationship with God is something that impacts you like a transfer truck. There should be a life change. He says in Scripture that He's making all things new, and when you encounter Him, you have this relationship with Him that you desire, or that He desires with you, then it changes you. It makes you a new person. Something will be different. If you get hit by a truck, something's going to be different about you. If you just break a leg and you gotta go to the doctor and get it fixed up, or maybe you survive it. But if you encounter Christ, then your life will change, and because He comes in such a personal way. Again, if you've not experienced that, I grew up in church and thought, oh well, I know all this stuff about God, and I thought that was enough. Just knowing about it and going, yeah, whatever, I know about that. But knowing about God and knowing Him in a personal way is a very different thing. And I hope you each will experience that. We've got improv, and then we got some cookies after that. Thank you all for being here again. I'm going to turn it over to the Caleb Augustus. Hopefully.